G'day guys, welcome to this week's weekly developer update. I'm CW and once again we have Armeanio joining us. How are we?
Doing pretty good.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I've had an exciting little development that's occurred over the past week. The UTXO set snapshot has had its first snapshot, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, we're kind of getting a variety of potential nodes out in the network, which is pretty cool to see. I'll always be the full node type person where I'll run, even if it's a historical node, why not? Yeah, UTXO set snapshot, for some people with fast internet, I've seen some pretty fast sync times relative to what I'm looking at downloading the whole chain. And that may get even faster with NIPoPoWs coming online. So it's awesome to see. Just gives users better assumptions, right? That's important. And there will still be people in the community that will be like, hey, at home, I'll have my, full node, and then on my, phone, I'll have, some lighter version. But it's exciting to see. That's something that we've been working on for a long time, and I think that when you look at not only nodes, but the potential for light off-chain infrastructure, things get really interesting.
Yeah, I like the possibility, like you just mentioned, having a dedicated PC or something like that running at home that can run, have the historical backup of the entire chain. You can then have snapshots enabled and things like that, but then also running the light client on your phone, and then theoretically you can have that pointing to your node or your server if you like as well. So the possibilities are pretty exciting, and one thing I'm still excited for is seeing the Tizen side of things, like running a full node with NIPoPoWs bootstrapping, etc., on your TV or washing machine, something like that would be pretty cool.
There's fun stuff coming out with that.
Yeah.
The ultralight clients. Yeah. Another thing we should probably, discuss before we hop into the update is storage runs coming up, right? So everybody out there should consolidate their boxes. That's going to be really interesting because at some point, the state of the Ergo blockchain is going to be recycling new UTXOs every 4 years, which is pretty cool to think about. Kind of circling back to where we started with nodes like clients. You should be able to carry 4 years of history and basically have the whole chain.
Yep. Yeah, most definitely. So for those who aren't aware, that's going to be occurring within a week of this video actually being released. I think it's at this point in time, the 20th of July. That can sort of fluctuate a little bit just on block times and things like that. So by all means, consolidate those boxes, check the box age and things like that. And if you do need to consolidate, be aware.
The real question would be, what's the mining pool that starts to actually utilize that, right?
Oh, mate, it's a funny question. I've shouted out a couple of times on Twitter and things like that, trying to build a bit of engagement and from the mining pools themselves. But I know Crux pool has made mention that they're looking into it. So that's the only one I've actually heard back from. So yeah, watch this space. And if you are a miner, look to the pool who does enable the collection of storage rent, because you have an economic incentive to sort of point your rigs there.
Yeah, hopefully we get some bonuses.
Yeah, lots of things in this space that can sort of be discussed, I guess, in regards to the collection and things and distribution of sort of tokens, NFTs and things like that are in boxes which don't have enough erg as well. So could be a nice little addition or a bonus for miners. All right, mate, let's jump into the dev update.
All right, looks like we're kicking off with Blitz. I did see that Mick posted a pretty nice write-up on Telegram, complete with the video. So everybody out there, please tune in. It says I'll go ahead and post this in advance since it covers a large swath of content I've been working on and I've been neglecting this chat. So thanks for not neglecting us.
It's okay, Mick. Just stay busy, mate. Keep building.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, scrolling down. There's a comment here actually for Kushti in regards to the UTXO set snapshots. So on height, 1,044,479 nodes running node versions 5.0.12. They've taken the first UTXO set snapshot. So thus bootstrapping with UTXO set snapshot is unlocked and on the mainnet now, which is very exciting.
All right, next it looks like we have Luivatra from Paideia Beta. The notifications have been finished. Ongoing work on integrating protocols into the front end. The initial beta will be ran with test tokens. We will airdrop them to current Paideia holders and see about getting them added to the faucet. With Crux Finance, slowly getting a rough idea about the architecture of the backend. Came across 0MQ and figured it would be awesome to have that on the node, so working on this PR. The node will publish events on 0MQ socket that anyone with access to the port, of course, can subscribe to. This allows dApps to respond to new blocks transactions instantly instead of having to pull the node. 0MQ is very easy to implement, but have no prior experience with it. So if anyone is a 0MQ expert, please hop on and let Luivatra know the strengths, weaknesses, pros, cons. Awesome to get some help.
Yep, most definitely. Okay, scrolling down. Next, it looks like we have greenhat. So he's continuing work with the Oracle core. So tested various scenarios for voting in his private pool. Also added checks to prevent out of order commands during the voting and update. With test, he's voting in the gold Ergo pool on testnet. And then next up, we'll finish testing the voting in the new gold Ergo pool on testnet.
All right, it looks like they're going over 0MQ. Then we get to Kushti. The Ergo protocol and reference client development. The NIPoPoW PR is under review. It's being polished. Just fixed height to take NIPoPoWs that have enough headers when UTXO snapshot applied after on 5.0.12 nodes. Took the first snapshot. It was 2 days ago then, so maybe it'd be 4 or 5 days by the time this comes out. So bootstrapping can now be done. Bootstrapping is going smoothly. On other matters, he's been spending a lot of time testing and reviewing the hold contracts, especially Phoenix. The test suite now has 7 tests covering positive and negative cases. It seems the difference between contracts is about accumulation of dev fee versus immediate pay. And so looks like the hold erg is going to be resurrected.
Yeah, degen finance. We're back at it. It's great to see the collaboration between a number of devs and even projects and things like that to try and iron out for one, finding the vulnerability, keeping the assets safe, but then also providing alternative solutions and things like that, and then the collaboration between those guys at Kushti and yeah, it's good to see everything come to fruition now. Okay, next up we have Captain Nemo and the Nautilus team update on the Fleet SDK front. The Age USD plugin, so finished Exchange plugin implementation. Also reached 100% of test coverage, so ready to be released. On the core side of Fleet SDK, added Ergo tree class model and the compiler for Fleet SDK, so finished the first alpha implementation.
All right, next we have Pragmaxim. Looks like he was working on uexplorer on top of the Akka stream. 1 month before Lightbend announced that Akka's license is going to become commercial. Fun. That sucks. So currently he's rewriting all of it with the Zio stack, which is the last radical change he wanted to make before building REST API. Awesome.
Nice to see. What are the odds of that as well?
Oof, happens.
Okay, next we have LiquidPhase and the terahertz.fm update. So refactored from Laravel PHP to Frappe Python. It's been a major success so far. With a Python backend, is now able to schedule .py files to happen on web events and or cron. To test this functionality, it started by creating a Python script to take the user's WAV file, upload and automatically convert it to MP3, where the MP3 versions is injected into the public web templates for streaming and waveform visualization. And the WAV file remains in the private directory. So the actual conversion and injection works perfectly, but needs to fix the form because if a user uploads an MP3 into the WAV field, it breaks the conversion. Since the field was looking for audio in general, it's not specific file formats, and it should be an easy thing to fix and validate so that the field only accepts high fidelity formats. The user system dashboard and roles and permissions working and solid. Also working on a few things in parallel, one being turning the site into an SPA, one being a non-SPA version that works with the fallback low bandwidth version of the site, being that they're now on a Python framework, integrating with Paideia and DAO contracts should be easier to set up, and they're getting pretty close to setting said connections up. General roadmap has been made viewable on terahertz.fm/roadmap. Looking for bloggers and content creators to start partnering for content. And if all continues to go well, could feasibly launch the beta version around the end of September. So watch this space.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Next, looks like we have Cheese. Says he's going to start ramping up contributions to the ecosystem again, which is amazing. Welcome back, Cheese.
Cheese is back.
Cheese is back. SigmaFi continue to work on auto liquidations contracts and reviewed lender-based order contracts again. With Lithos, which I know has been on a lot of people's mind, did some background work, revisited the mutations transaction library to clean it up. We'll have a release for others on Nexus within a few weeks. Awesome. Yeah, a lot of people are looking forward to Lithos and see what it actually does to the to the industry. That it's kind of the way I envisage things. If it all going well, it can flip the proof of work industry up on its upside down, which is pretty cool. Next, we have Morphic on the Sigma side of things. The next PR's merged into 5.0.1c release client with the cross compilation of Ergo script compiler to JavaScript. Next version of Sigma State JS is version 0.2.0 package published. Implemented the AppKit style unsigned transaction builder in Sigma SDK module. The design is simplified and more Scala friendly. It can be used from Scala and later from JavaScript projects. The blockchain context is decoupled from the node connection, so the design is non-opinionated. Starting to work on multi-sig signing, and on the Ergo front, the Ergo node ChatGPT plugin integrations waiting for the next round of review. Also reviewed the NIPoPoW bootstrapping PR. And next up is implementing the multisig in AppKit based on ERP11. Awesome. I think we go all the way down to dEathgripson. There's a lot of discussion
Scrolling through. A lot of chat. There we are.
All right. So with Analog Ergo, the Ergo initiator, EVM responder swap functionality fully tested with automatic claiming, lock time checking, and refunding. Running tests across multiple accounts and clients. Working on improving UX features. The demo of basic functionality will be out soon.
Awesome.
TM.
There's a bit more chatter. I think MHS is down here somewhere. There we are. So MHS and the Rosen Bridge update. on the public launch. So started the setup process for their launch. Most of the required contract addresses and configuration boxes are created. Also started the configurations of the new test servers. So they'll have a new test bed for the current and future tests. It's pretty exciting. So actually getting one step closer to the public launch. So it's also in talks with some projects to bootstrapping the guard set. On the Watcher app and guard app fronts, the final parts of the apps are under development and will release the apps in the coming days. On the TS guard service, health check parameters, jobs, and APIs have been added. Also added revenue views and APIs, added assets API, ongoing and completed events history API, and fixed migration bugs. On the Rosen Bridge Watcher front, added Watcher collateral to the to get permit procedure. Then all Watchers should lock some Ergo and Rosen to receive the Watcher permit. So to mitigate the civil attack risk on the Watcher set. In other terms, you should lock some Rosen or RSN tokens and Ergo to become a Watcher. You can unlock this collateral at any time and exit the Watcher set. So it's not at risk of seizure. Then you'll need some Rosen RSN token to receive reporting permit. So these permits have the seizure risk if a Watcher acts maliciously. And the health check parameters, jobs, and APIs have been added. On the scanner front, fixed migration bugs and refracted extractor initialization procedure. The Cardano Ogmios network, working on adding Ogmios network to support the guards. And then finally, the TSS API. That's a wrapper for Binance's TSS library. The sign scenario has been implemented and successfully integrated with the TSS package. Number of S's there. It's also been tested successfully. So also begun the implementation of the key generation scenario to bootstrap the guard set. Awesome. What's happening?
All right, looks like next we have PGR 456, and he says he started building a wrapper for Sigma Rust and Go. It doesn't support all functions for Sigma Rust yet, but maybe it can be extended to support different use cases. It says, I think in Sigma Rust, it should be possible for what in particular Killnock has been trying to do. So that's pretty cool that we have a Go wrapper.
Yep, awesome. Happy days. I think that's everything for this week's update. Yep, lots happening once again. We've been saying this for a number of months now. A lot of people have been in development and getting to that final stages, and it's good to see the Terahertz .fm website and everything back end being built back out again. I know LiquidPhase has been chucking a fair bit of time there, but also looking what MHS is doing and coming to market with Rosen. Paideia is around the corner. There's lots of things happening in the ecosystem.
And let's not forget, Cheese is back.
Big Cheese.
Yeah, great to see.
He's matured well and he's back.
Awesome.
So yeah, Lithos, can't wait to see that what that protocol can basically do and tear stratums apart. Have for those who aren't sort of aware of what Lithos basically is sort of looking to do on the Ergo front, it's basically provide the benefits of pool mining, but provide miners a front to mine directly to their own nodes. So basically trying to bring back that one CPU, one vote sort of scenario that Satoshi basically had at the beginning of cryptocurrency or beginning of Bitcoin. Bringing that back into the industry.
I'm really curious to see what kind of economic incentives can be built on top of Lithos that could potentially make it more economically competitive than mining pools, right?
Yeah.
It's better assumptions, and I think that there's some really unique use cases out there. So see.
Yeah. miner-driven DeFi. Yeah, what are some other things? FIMOs, you name it. Like this, yeah, your imagination's the limit, I think.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, thanks once again for tuning into the weekly developer update. It's always a pleasure running through these for you. Joe, always a pleasure chatting.
Yep. Have a good one, everybody.
Take care, guys. Have a good one.